Previously, we learned how to create an undetectable backdoor, which is great. But we delivered this backdoor by simply downloading it at the target computer. Now, this will probably not work in real life. Your target will never just download an executable and run it if you ask them to do that. Therefore, in this lecture, I want to show you a smarter delivery method where we will spoof an update. So when a specific program at the target computer checks for updates, it will say that there is an update, and when they install that update, they will actually be installing a backdoor. The only limitation to this method is you need to be the man in the middle. It doesn't matter how, but you need to be able to intercept the connections. So you can do this using ARP spoofing, or using a fake access point as I showed you before, or using any other method that will allow you to intercept the connections. So usually, programs have a specific domain that they use to check for updates. So let's say we have the user here that has a specific program, it wants to update something, it'll send a request to a specific domain. And let's say this domain in this case, it's updateserver.com. This will be sent to the DNS server. The DNS server will respond with the IP of the update server, which we have right here. And then the user will send a direct request to the update server looking for updates. If there are updates, then the update server will respond with the updates. Now, if we are the man in the middle, if we're able to intercept all the requests and the responses, then when we get a request for updateserver.com, instead of giving the IP of the update server, we can actually give the IP of a hacker server. This server is running a special program called EvilGrade, and EvilGrade will tell the user that yes, there is an update, and instead of serving them an actual update, it'll serve them a backdoor. So when the user agrees to install this update, they'll actually be installing a backdoor on their system. Let's do this practically and it'll become even clearer. Right here, I have my Kali machine. This is the custom image that I made for this course. Therefore, it has EvilGrade pre-installed in it. So first, we'll need to navigate to the location where it's installed. We're going to use the cd command to do that. And it is installed in OPT EvilGrade. And then to run the binary, the program itself, we're going to do ./EvilGrade. Now, using EvilGrade is very simple and very similar to Metasploit. So, to get a list of all the programs that we can hijack their updates, we're going to do show modules. And as you can see, you have a lot of famous programs such as WinZip, VMware, Skype, Safari, and so on. Now, we're going to be doing this on a program called DAP, Download Accelerator Plus. So we have it here. So to configure a specific module, all we have to do is just type configure module name, which is DAP. So you can replace DAP with any module that you want to configure with any program that you want to hijack. So I'm going to hit enter. And as you can see, it's saying now I'm inside the DAP module. And I'm going to do show options to see all of the options that I can set. So as you can see, we get a list of all the options that we can set, and the main option that we want to change is the agent. This is the path to the program that will be installed as an update. So in our case, we're going to be replacing this with the backdoor that we created in the previous lecture. So to change this option, we're going to do set agent, the option name, to the location where I have my backdoor. And my backdoor is in var www html backdoor.exe. So as you can see, the format of changing options is very similar to Bettercap and Metasploit. We do set, followed by the option that we want to change, followed by the value. So I'm going to hit enter, and that's done. The next thing that I want to modify is the end site, which is the website that will be loaded once the update is successful. Now I know this will return a not found error. That's why I'm going to change it. You don't have to change it with every module. So again, to change this, we're just going to do set end site, and I'm just going to set it to just the basic domain, which is speedbit.com. And finally, before we run everything, I'm going to do show options one last time to make sure that everything is set as I want it. So I have the agent set to var www.html backdoor.exe. That's perfect. And I have the end site set to the way I want it. So I'm ready to go. And all we need to do now is just type start to start EvilGrade. So right now, if EvilGrade gets a request for an update, it will say yes, there is an update, and it will serve the backdoor.exe as the update. The only problem is it will never get any requests right now because I am not intercepting connections. I'm still not the man in the middle. Therefore, we're gonna become the man in the middle using BetterCap. Like I said, you can use any method you want to become the man in the middle, but we're just gonna do it using ARP spoofing right now. So I'm going to use BetterCap using the exact same command that we've been using before. So we're just doing BetterCap, giving it the interface connected to the network, and giving it the spoof caplet so that it runs an ARP spoofing attack, putting me in the middle of the connections. I'm going to hit enter, and this will run with no errors, so that's perfect. We also need to use BetterCap to run a DNS spoofing attack and spoof any request to update.speedbit.com. This is the domain that the target program uses to check for updates, and we want to spoof DNS requests to this so they return the IP of the Kali machine right here, which is running EvilGrade, so EvilGrade gives them the fake update. Now, I covered how to do DNS spoofing in details in a full lecture before, so if you don't remember how this works, please go back and revise this lecture because I'm going to do it a little bit quickly right now. So, I'm going to copy this domain, and I'm going to clear the screen here, and we're going to set the DNS spoof all to true, and we'll also set the DNS spoof the .domains to the domain that we want to spoof. Finally, we're going to start the DNS spoofer by doing DNS spoof on, and perfect. Now it's working, and it's telling us that it's going to spoof any request to update.speedbit.com to the IP of my Kali machine. The IP of my Kali machine is running EvilGrade. EvilGrade will say yes, there is a new update, and it'll serve them the backdoor that we have right here, and that way the backdoor will be automatically executed on the target computer. The only problem is the backdoor will get executed, but we're not listening for incoming connections here, so we won't really get access. Therefore, we need to listen for incoming connections using Metasploit as I showed you before. Now I've already configured my multi-handler. Again, I covered this in details, so if you don't remember how to do it, please go back to that lecture. Right now I'm just going to do show options to show you the options that I set right here. And you can see that I am using a Windows Meterpreter reverse HTTP here because I'm actually using a different backdoor in my EvilGrade, this backdoor right here. It's not a reverse HTTPS as shown in previous lectures, it's actually a reverse HTTP backdoor because for some reason I noticed the HTTPS backdoors are not working with EvilGrade. That's why I created a reverse HTTP backdoor specifically for this lecture. So I'm setting my payload to the same payload that's used in my backdoor. I'm setting my IP in here. I'm setting the L port to 8080, so everything is perfect. I'm gonna run exploit to listen for incoming connections, and now we're ready to go. So now let's go over this one more time. When we go to the target computer and check for updates, right now this computer is intercepting connections because of BetterCap, and it's also gonna spoof any request for update.speedbit.com to this IP. This is the IP where EvilGrade is working. EvilGrade is going to say yes, there is a new update. The update is this executable. The target computer will take this executable, it'll run it because it thinks it's an update. When this gets executed, it'll send a connection to us in here in our multi-handler. So let's go to the target computer and see if this will actually work as we expected. So I've already downloaded Download Accelerator Plus, the program that we're trying to hijack its updates, and installed it. So I'm just going to double click it to start the program. Now it's just asking me to set it as the default download manager. I'm going to say no. And I'm going to go to help. And I'm going to click on update now. We're going to say yes, check for updates please. I'm just going to uncheck this, click on next. It's checking for updates now. And it's telling us that there is a new update. So we're going to say next. And it's telling us right here it's a critical update. So I'll be like, yeah, I want to install this. This will download the update for me and install it. And it's telling us that it's done. Everything is done. We're going to say next. Thank you very much. And finish. Now, if we go back to the Kali machine, you can see we got a reverse connection here from the target. And just to confirm this, we can do sysinfo to see more information. And perfect, as you can see, we're inside the target computer. And now we have full access to that computer and can do whatever the normal user can do on their system. Now, I will talk more about post-exploitation and how to control the computer using this Meterpreter access in the post-exploitation section. But right now, we managed to hack into a computer using a fake update.